Hey guys, great afternoon. Come on in, come on in. Look, we are here back for another segment. I'm Annette,
I'm Anthony.
and we're here for another marriage temperature check. Let's check those temperatures. How y'all doing today? It is a great, great afternoon, and I say that because it is good to be here, good to be alive, good to be able to interact with you guys, and again, of course, come on here again and talk about these marriages, these relationships. We. So how have you been since the last time?
Busy.
But of course, but
Of
of
course.
course, yeah, you've been very busy with your clients and you're traveling and all that you do. We appreciate you though.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to jump in. I'm going to ask you guys to come on in. I'm looking down because I'm actually sharing the live stream. So we're live here on Facebook, and then Get Caught in the Net, YouTube, Get Caught in the Net. And in a few minutes, we'll be live on Instagram, Get Caught in the Net. I just had to start it over there. That's all. But yeah, so if you wouldn't mind going ahead and making sure that you go ahead and share this out, you can tag individuals into the live stream. They can look at it later because my husband and I said we're not going to be on here very, very, very long on today. Sometimes we get to talking and the time just goes, it gets away from us. But it's good conversation, right?
Yes, it is.
I feel like I'm putting words in your mouth.
I'm letting you talk.
Marriage temperature check. Honey, talk to us about why you think it's important to do a temperature check every so often.
Everything needs to be monitored. You can take nothing for granted.
Yeah. Okay. That's all
Because
you're going to say?
well, I'm trying to give you all the opportunities.
Babe, we're in this together, right?
Yes, that is true. That's
This
true.
is not mind, body, and soul with the net where I'm the host and I'm doing all the talking. So we're in this together. We decided to do this together. I see you guys coming in over here on Instagram as well. So thank you. Appreciate you for coming in.
Yes,
Um,
thank you.
and if you want to comment, if you want to interact, we do encourage you to engage with us. Give us your thoughts. I actually put up a little topic title, if you will. I just said marriage formula. I mean, I don't know if my husband has something that he wants to share, but um, I want to know, do you think that it's important to have a formula for your marriage? And, we have formulas for everything else, right? To make sure that things work properly. And like you said, you need to monitor things. Do you think it's important to have a formula in your marriage? And I'm not only talking engage with my husband, but I'm engaging with you guys as well that will come in to this conversation. So, what are your
I'll punt the ball back at you on that one since it's you picked the topic. So go ahead with the formula that you're thinking about, and I'll
no?
jump in.
No, 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 no. I don't have one set one. I don't have a set formula. And that's what I want to talk about. Should there be a set formula? Do you kind of adjust as you go type thing? You know what I mean? What are you first? What do you think about, do you need to have a formula for your marriage? What do you think about that?
Well, I forgot who said it. Someone said if you don't have a plan, then you plan to fail. So you need some type of direction, but in whatever direction, you have to adjust as things go on. Um, adjust as a football game goes on, adjust as a battle or war goes on, adjust as a job goes on. Everything needs some adjusting and tweaking because chess. That's what the whole thing is about. You adjust to their moves, they adjust to your moves. So everything needs to be to have that fluidity about itself.
Okay, so I guess I was kind of along the same lines. I was thinking the right thing, because when you have some, and then I guess it's important to be able to adjust. It's important to be able to create a formula and then be open to, okay, maybe I got to tweak this a little bit. Maybe I'll add a little bit more here, or take some away from that end, to balance it out, type thing. Um, and I think we need to have that mentality regarding relationships, regarding our marriages. We talked last time about um, that we change individually as the marriage goes on. So then, if we're changing, and then of course the formula would need to probably be adjusted or readjusted, or I hope y'all created them. And you know what? And it's not necessarily like, okay, sit down here, 2 + 2 = 4, da 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 da. I think a formula could probably come about, um, you know, as you're growing, as you're trying to figure out things. Time goes on. Sometimes when couples get married, maybe they have children right away or whatever. So then you have to think of another kind of formula that's going to help that marriage continue and move on. I mean, does that sound sensible to you?
Well, it's two sides to that because with everything, you see what's working and try to continue with that, but you see what's not working or you see what's causing amount of pain or friction, you try to avoid that. But at some point, some things need to be addressed or whatever, um, as best as possible.
Yeah.
Um, because someone could be weak in an area and don't know they're weak, do not know that they're weak, and it's a major weakness. And I think that that needs to definitely number one to be taken up regularly in prayer. Uh, you know, because um, it's the easy road out to always take the nice and simple when it's a pain point and it definitely needs to be addressed carefully, but it definitely
Mm,
still needs to be addressed.
okay.
But otherwise, you will have someone in an 80-year-old body still dealing with something from 15 years old.
In terms of what? What do you mean?
Abandonment, something like that.
Oh,
You you
okay.
could, you could have 80-year-old people talking about they feel abandoned, but really they got abandoned when they was a kid.
Ooh, okay. And when they were abandoned, that was not addressed. So then, however they react to it is because it wasn't addressed correctly, properly, or at all.
They 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 never got healed of that. They never forgave. They never let go. They they constantly harbor that somewhere. They never see forgiveness is how you let go of the pain.
Mm. Woo, whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. That's deep. Forgiveness is how you let go of the pain. Whoa, whoa. Okay. I'm sorry. I get stuck on I get stuck on stuff. My mind is always going. So if I hear somebody say something that's like, "Oh God," I've never heard it that way though, and that's actually a great point. Um, I'm sorry. Continue on. I made you
No, go
stop.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, because what was one of the last things if somebody's tortured you? I mean, tortured you in the worst possible fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Any red, well, any person is going to have all kind of strong emotions, and Jesus
Okay.
is no different.
Yeah.
One of the last things he said is, forgive them, Father. They tortured you in the worst fashion, form that ever could have been, and you said, forgive them.
Hmm.
So forgiveness is that mechanism. That's how we deal with this. And unfortunately, if you don't, you will carry things for the rest of your life. You will limit your growth. You will limit your potential. You will limit who you really was created to be.
Wow. Can you say that again about the forgiveness?
It was spontaneous.
That's funny. Um, whoa, that was so deep. That was so deep. Okay, so you guys that are coming in, oh, I want to make sure I read this comment. Says, hi, my favorite cousin couple. Keep up the good, the kingdom work for the Most High. You know who that is?
No.
That's our Tanya.
Oh, Tanya, how are you doing?
Thanks for watching, cousin. He didn't know your handle on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching. And you can engage with us too, because anybody that comes on here, I see Michelle Hollins Casey is watching. We appreciate you, little sis. Thanks for coming in. We're doing temperature check. We started doing this a few months ago, and every once in a while we'll come on live stream, maybe a week, 2 weeks apart, and kind of do this little gauging of our relationships in marriage. Though, and this is not only for married couples. Some may be engaged to be married. Some may be anticipating, getting married. Some may even be divorced, separated. But this can still help. You know what I mean? When we talk about gauging that temperature in your marriage, because sometimes it may get a little bit hot. Sometimes it may get cold. Sometimes it can be straight in the middle, being lukewarm, right? And sometimes people don't know exactly what to do or what to say to their spouse. If they say one thing, they may get upset or whatever. And so this is what we're doing here when we come and have these segments and sessions. We sit down, my husband and I, with each other and engage with you as well. So I do encourage you again to get into the conversation with us. Tonight we're talking about marriage formula. Is there a formula for your marriage to keep it hot and spicy? Is there a formula for your marriage to just get you to the point of communication with your spouse? Because I think that, you kind of have to look at all aspects of it, when you talk about formulas. What's going to work? I, I'm reminded of our grandniece when one time she asked me, she's all of what, 5? Well, I think she was 4 at the time she asked me. She says, no, she asked you this, I think, about if you had a schedule or calendar. You mentioned that you couldn't be somewhere because of your schedule. You know where I'm going. She asked you, she said, well, why didn't you come? You're like, well, my calendar, my schedule is all kind of booked. Well, you don't have any kids, so what do you don't have a schedule. And it's so funny. So in her young mind, she's thinking that only families or relationships that have children will have a calendar or a schedule to follow, which, of course they do, but it's not only. Of course, those of us who don't have children and, whatever, or maybe your kids are long gone out of the house or have you still should have some kind of a formula to go by. You have many parents who are now, what do they call it? Um, um,
Empty
when the
nesters.
kids are, what was it?
Empty nesters.
Thank you. It escaped my mind just that fast. Um, and so now then they have to readjust. So we already talked about, right, when you have these formulas or whatever, sometimes you may have to tweak them or readjust them depending upon what life brings. So that's a prime example of it in that aspect. So that's what we're talking about tonight, guys. And again, you could throw into your into the comment section what do you think, and we just appreciate you. I can't see the names that are over there on Instagram, but again, thank you for coming in. um So yeah, I think it's important to have a formula. And I think I was going to say this earlier, that when you talk about formulas, it's not that you have to sit down, you have a pen and paper, you have to actually write it out. Okay, once you get married, maybe wedding night, you sit down and write out your formulas, or maybe you did it beforehand. Sometimes they just come as you go. You know what I mean? What do you think about that? Now I am definitely an organized person, and I like to have things like so. My husband knows. My husband knows how I am. And you want things kind of in order. That's just how I operate. And so what do you think, dear, about that? Do you like have to like literally sit down and write out these formulas, or you just kind of like on the go type thing? What do you
Well,
think?
with everything, you have to look at what works best for those individuals. Some people they may have to, some people they may not, and some people they may have a hybrid of both. But
Mm,
what works for one does not necessarily work for all. Not necessarily.
right, right.
So
Everybody's different.
right. So it's kind of one thing I find in most marriages I see is you have literally you have I just take the obvious spending. Typically, you
Mm.
always have two different ones in the relationship when it comes to spending.
I feel that was a dig. But go ahead.
No, it wasn't a dig. I didn't go in further. you know, so and really that's a good thing because you can get caught with a hawkish don't spend versus a spendthrift spend every time. It always has to be a balance. You have to
Yeah,
know, it has to be a balance.
yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. I mean, it's okay if you take a dig at me. I'm a big girl.
I wasn't taking a dig at you. I said in most marriages I see.
I know. I get it. It's cool. It really no, I'm messing with you though, dear. But no, and as you started talking about that, of course, I remembered when I think when we were having our marriage counseling, um, pastor, our late pastor, was mentioning that you may have two, I mean, different ways of spending or looking at things, and it made a lot of sense. It really did. Um, and Tanya, it looks like she said here, let me flush it on the screen. She said, yes, it must be a balance. It has to be. I'm telling you because, and I've said this before you and I got married, remember my aunt came and she told me, well, you didn't know because she told me by myself, you can't have your way all the time. She told me I can't have my way all the time. I'm the baby. I'm used to having my way. And so, you have to go into these marriages and these relationships that you expect to last a long time with that mindset, um, that I'm not necessarily going to have my way all the time. I'm going to have to balance it out. I may have to adjust. I may have to retreat sometimes. Um,
I'm going to say this, and this is one thing I find too, is um, as a whole, not just marriages, as a whole, but marriage in particular, everyone is expecting uh, a TV uh, white picket fence all the time,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
and you see that all the time. And the people that are acting that role in white picket fence are probably divorced in real life.
In real life. Right.
So don't think a little whatever is what am I doing wrong? No, I mean, yeah, it definitely needs to be some repairing and some working together, but it's not that you are so wrong or he's so wrong or you all are just messed up and all this other stuff. It's just that we have been taught and trained to shy away. If it's not sugar and if it's not sugar and ice cream and cookies, it's got to be a problem, and
Yeah,
that'll kill you.
that's true. That is so true. So in our minds, we have to like literally make sure that we know that it's not going to be a bed of roses, that some little thorns may jump up in there. And, you had to figure out how am I going to protect myself, from these thorns? How should I step? Maybe I should put some shoes on so I won't, get a thorn in my foot. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of adjusting that we have to make sure that we are um, that we should do. Or I was just going to say, have the mentality that could happen. Um, I want to show on the screen. Hang on one second. You can talk, dear. I'm just going to pull up this one screen that talks about 10 variables a successful marriage formula has to have, and maybe kind of go through these a little bit, and then we can be done. If that's okay.
Okay.
Um, so 10 variables a successful marriage formula has to have. All right. So we are looking at this. I don't know if I can make this bigger. Did I do it right? I hope I did.
Same. It's still the same.
It's still the same. Oh, it's just bigger on my screen. All right. Oh, how can I do this? Okay, let me unshare this,
Well,
and then I can make it bigger.
when I made my screen full size, it was fine.
When you
So
made your screen full size.
yeah, so go back to what you have,
Uh-huh.
and that was fine. When I made my screen full size, I actually could read it.
Okay. So let me see if this works now. Oh, you can make it bigger on your screen. I see your comment, cousin. I love my cousin. She is such a sweetheart. I just love her so much. Okay.
That's pretty
Look, I,
decent.
look, I said my cousin. I just done took her from you, honey. All right. So here we go. Is that a little bit better?
That's good.
Okay. All right. So here we go. 10 variables a successful marriage formula has to have. And then we have here where it talks about once you get married, the relationship with your spouse becomes more important than any other relationship. Um, and I would tend to agree with that, because sometimes people get into, um, a relationship, and their thinking or their dedication is maybe to their parents or somebody else, and they're not dedicating and making their marriage more important. Um, that's a whole subject in and of itself. I don't want to jump down there because we're gonna have get off a little bit before we get off of here. But maybe we can talk about that next time. All right, so 10 variables. Start off with number one: trust. Trust. It has here. Oh, and thank you, ladies, for saying that you can see it now. I appreciate you, cousin Italian and Ebony. How you doing, girl? My new little
Well,
sister. Thanks for coming in. So trust. It says trust is hard to earn and easy to lose. Oh, that's a statement in and of itself. It must be held as sacred. None among us are perfect, and we will make our mistakes. But in a successful marriage, trust must not be broken. Okay, this is good. I like this. But what if it is? What if that trust is broken? I mean, I want to get y'all this, you all that are watching, throwing your thoughts on this. What if that trust is broken? Then what? Is that a deal breaker? Would that hinder your formula for your marriage? What do we need to do to kind of like, as my husband and I talked about at the beginning, readjust, make some stipulations here. Um, Ebony says here, yes, trust. It takes time to rebuild. Whew. Yeah, it does. And I think, Ebony, you was talking earlier on, WCGM about how you be watching too many of these shows. Child, sometimes these shows, I love intriguing shows and shows that kind of get my mind going. I like drama. And sometimes I'm looking at these shows and I'm like, you're not gonna forgive him. You're not gonna forgive her when I'm seeing, what the behind the background or what got them to that point. Um, but we had to look at this in real life. What are your thoughts, honey?
Oh, I was looking for some more comments because that's good. Because if trust is broken, that's a delicate issue. First of all, the number one thing needs to be addressed. Why was it broken? And can that be repaired in those individuals first? Because you can forgive somebody all you want to, but if they're going to constantly do the same thing over and over,
Yeah.
that's I mean, you know,
Wow. What'd you say about insanity on the Bible class?
was that Einstein that said the definition of insanity is to do the same thing repeatedly and expect different results?
Yeah, that is insane. For sure.
Yeah,
Woo. Okay. I like your comment though, because you said that first off, you have to find out how you got to this point of not trusting. What occurred. I
can
like
it
when
be
you said
fixed?
that. Yeah, can it be fixed? I like that. Okay, so here's some more comments. Ebony says parameters and check-ins must be our in place to work towards it. Okay, yeah,
It's
I see
good.
that. Mm-hmm. Cousin Itanya says communication and forgiveness. Itanya, ask your cousin what I say around here all the time. Ask questions, communicate. That's what I always say. And that's so key because if I don't communicate with my husband and you don't communicate with me, we're lost basically. We're like two people just abiding with each other. And I don't know what's in your head. And I always tease him too. I said yesterday, I pointed to his head. I said, I'm not in there. I'm not in his head and he's not in mine. So therefore, we have to communicate with each other. We have to talk about it.
Mhm.
Um, so that's good stuff. Thank you for that comment. And then Ebony says benchmarks to stay on track to rebuild it.
A
Yeah,
formula.
formula, formula. I like that. I like that. And she said that was a good comment you made.
Thank you.
Ooh, huh?
I just said thank you.
Oh, okay. Tanya says accountability. Ooh, see, y'all coming with some good stuff. Oh my God. Communicate, accountability, benchmarks, parameters, check ins. Okay. I have a question for y'all after I read this last comment because those are some great responses. And then Tanya says she thinks it's hard for men to communicate. What you think, babe?
I wouldn't necessarily say hard. I would think men may forget or men may don't hold it real high. I mean, invariably, I understand what she's saying. It doesn't get out. That's the bottom. It doesn't. That's the bottom line. But I don't think that there's an intention of I don't want to communicate. It may be thinking about something else. It may be forgotten. I'm trying to give guys the benefit of the doubt and saying she's correct in that statement at the same time.
Because okay, so I'll do this. I'll say this. I'm with Itanya on that, but I don't think she's saying that you all don't want to. She's just saying it's hard. I think that's what she said. It's just hard for men to communicate
Hard.
because
Well, okay, you want to dig into it. What do you mean by hard? Let's dig into it.
that's good. Okay, all right. I have my thoughts. I tell you, and whoever else on here can put your thoughts. Why do you think it's hard? What does that mean that it's hard for men to communicate? I think it's hard for men to communicate because number one, they really haven't seen it sometimes, before them. Um, Sometimes they've seen it before and they still don't communicate. But men sometimes they hold men will hold things in. You guys are holders. Women, we release. Okay. We are emotional beings. And what they say, we wear our emotions on our sleeves, so to speak. So, so we're gonna let you know. Sometimes we may have diarrhea of the mouth. Mhm. But we're gonna let you know. We're gonna talk to you. We're gonna tell you, hey, no, that wasn't good. Let's back that up. Beep, 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 beep. Get the little signal backing up.
Now,
And I think that and maybe sometimes we talk too much that y'all don't want to communicate. Or so much, not too much. Um, I don't know. Let's see. You guys come on, join me, help me. But what do you think about what I just said there?
well, I think a lot of times, sometimes a lot of men I know, they just don't, they hear it communicated to their wives for a few reasons. And a lot of the men I associate is they use it as a buffer.
Mm,
They don't, if they gave the wife everything they got or received, uh-uh. And they know that. And so they're they're navigating, trying to protect, trying to make the best of the situation right now. Not just like a little boy running to his mama. It's like a man managing whatever the situation is. And sometimes things may not be communicated. I mean, right away. I mean, because they are managing it. Sometimes. I can't
okay,
say
okay.
every time.
All right, okay. I hear you. And you're talking from a managing type point of view, right?
Right.
So, you as being the head of the house, you're trying to make sure that you keep things off of us. You handle it, you know what I'm saying, as the man. That's what I heard, what you just said, right?
Yeah. I mean, a
Okay.
lot of time, it's a lot of stuff that go left and right and this and that. And like I said, a lot of the guys I associate, associate with does the same thing. And
Okay.
where it may be picked up in one way, they are trying to shield it from another way. If you, what we trying to do, I was going to give you a humorous example of that, but I don't know if we get time.
Hopefully none of me. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, well,
Tanya says she can understand your point. I get it. I can understand that too. There's so much more I want to say on that though, but I'm
now
leaving.
I'm not saying this every single time. Now, don't get me wrong.
It can't be every single time. And I guess I'll just say this to my point or to your point that it's not always about when we ask you to communicate, when we ask you to talk to us, it's not that we are trying to get you to loosen that head position that you have in trying to protect us. But I need to know when you're going to wash those dishes. Let me stop. I mean, so I'm saying minor stuff or things that don't list under your protect her type thing. You know what I mean? I think I just messed something up. Ebony laughing at me. So yeah, I just I think that we have to. I don't know.
It's a
I don't know.
balancing act, and communication can be improved. There's no denying that. That's definitely not a point uh, that's deniable. But some of
I'm
the
gonna keep drinking
reasons,
my water.
so
You didn't catch that one. Um, but no, okay. But I hear you. I understand how you want to do that protection. Make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do as the head of the house and not not allow things to get to me or bother me. You're protecting me. I get that, and I appreciate that. Um, Man, there's so many ways we can go with this, but okay. Let me make sure I read these other comments. I try and say yes. They think we talk too much. Yeah, they do. They do. But if we don't, they're not going to. So somebody got to talk.
Well, it's just like I said. A lot of times, you have two opposites, and I mean that's the whole reason. Like I said in the beginning, that helped me. That really in the original language is an opposite. That's the whole definition of a relationship.
Yep. Yep. That's true. That's true. Hey, Meech. Thanks for coming in, little sis. She
How
said
you
she's home
doing?
in time to catch us live. Yay. We're talking tonight about formulas, marriage formulas. Is there a formula that's going to keep your marriage hot? Keep it going, you know? And then we started with this, going through this particular article that talks about 10 variables a successful marriage formula has to have. And we started on number one and got stuck on number one. So of course we're probably gonna have to continue this, continue this another time. But I think it is important to make sure that we work on that trust, because while that paragraph mentions trust must not be broken, that is ideal. That is a tiptoe through the rosies type, relationship or what have you. But the truth of the matter is that that trust sometimes is going to be, it's going to be broken, or it's going to be tested to get to the point of being broken. So what do you do in that respect? We don't want to think that we're just do 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 and nothing's going
And,
to happen.
and I'm gonna say this to that point, that's what I keep going back to. We have an unrealistic expectation a lot of times
Yeah.
because the Bible said God tries the heart. God tests every one of us all the time to see if
Mhm.
we're going to be our whatever. So any relationship is going to be tested. Anything of any value will be tested. And just because it's being tested does not mean it's bad.
Right. That's true. What does testing do?
Testing brings out the best. Testing shows whatever flaws that is. Testing shows what needs to be improved.
Yeah. So it's okay to be tested. Can
It's
I
okay.
say it like that?
And then see, the key point is to acknowledge and try to improve those areas. Now
Yeah.
that's the key.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't just leave it there. So I'm going to be tested, and then you just bloop. No. Um, we have to understand, and that again, that's why we do these marriage temperature checks, so that we can know how to maneuver through, those times. And I think it's important. And I'm going to read this comment. I think it's important for us to look at, and I think I said it earlier, of knowing that it's not going to be a cakewalk. You have to put you have to put some time. You have to put some elbow grease in there. You have to you have to work at it. Really do. So okay, Demetri Triplet says trust is tested based on a person's life experiences. Mhm. Men and women need various assurances to know their partner is a safe space for them. I love that.
Thank you.
And she did
Yes.
safe space in all caps. I love that. Were you going to comment on it?
No, no, no. I just said thank you. Yes, that's good.
Trust is tested based on it. Yeah. And then, we have to understand, life, things are going to happen. Things are going to come. Boy, sometimes things punch you in your gut. You have to stop so you can try and breathe, again. But then I love that how she ended that and said, a safe, your partner needs to have a safe space, and they need to provide a safe space. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, I should be able to. She just mentioned, Demetria just mentioned she, just got off work. So she needs to be able to walk into her home. The home needs to be a safe space, an oasis, a peaceful place for both spouses. Um, I won't know what you've encountered when you get home, dear, unless or until you tell me, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So making the space safe is so key, so important. Um, and maybe sometimes we can, or another point, we can look at how to make our homes a safe space. Maybe that can be another discussion we can have another time, dear, because that we can go really deep into that. How can we make our spaces safe for our spouses?
Mm-hmm.
Tanya says she agrees with safe space, because
Yes, yes.
how we create it is going to be so key. You know, um, I may think that I'm creating a safe space for you as my husband, but it may not be safe for you. Think about that, and vice versa. You know, um, I'm just going to throw this in here. I know, especially earlier on in our marriage, and I still do it every, time to time. When you come home, I said, baby, thank you for coming home.
Yes,
You
you do.
know, and yeah, you could have ran off somewhere else. Ain't gonna leave all of this, but now let me stop. But you guys, with these times, I like to throw a little humor in here, but it's just the truth. Demetria says the way Gary and I got to our safe space by learning how to effectively communicate with each other. That means no assumptions. I like that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Demetria, I used to have a little sign around the house. Ask questions. Ask questions. Didn't I, babe? I used to even
Mm-hmm.
ignore it, but I was still having no assumptions. I like that. That's good advice, good communication there. Um, yeah, this is wild, and of course, honey, we are running over, Lord, running over. Ebony says it's just the truth. I love it. Yes, she
Yes.
said, "Grandma, she said was." I understood. I understood. Dimitri. Uh, Tanya says communication is the key. Oh,
Yes.
and it looks like number two is talking about communication, open communication. Man, I'm telling you, that could save a whole lot of marriages.
Oh, yes.
I would totally agree with that. Because it says here when a couple has a lack of communication, it leads to suspicion. And then suspicion leads to stress. Ooh, wee. I like this one. Leads to stress and worse. And then it says married partners should be able to share everything with each other and through that help each other navigate life successfully. Oh my God. Open communication. Open communication. Thank you, Tanya, for giving that comment because that led us into number two. Um,
Yes.
Dear, did you want to add on to, did you want to address that or?
No, 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 no. You're flowing.
Y'all pray for me. My husband is hilarious. I love him now. I love him. Like I always tell you, can't nobody mess with my man. I get you now. You don't mess with him. Mm-mm. He know that too. That's why you're with it grinning. Can't nobody mess with my man. And I know you all feel the same way about your spouses. Where can we find this article? Oh, sure, Ebony. Hang on one second. Let me put the link in the. I'll put the link in the comment section because as I was starting out as I was starting or kind of just doing just a little bit of research for today's segment, I just looked up this article before we got on the air. So there's a link. Oh, let me display it in the comment section. Okay. 10 variables for a successful marriage. But yeah, this is good, man. We can go on light, and I know we're not going to do that. Um, you all, pray for us, engage with us. We believe again that this is what God has instructed us to do, um, to help check the temperatures, right? Um, I think that's going to be so important, as we go on. Those are us that are already in marriages, those, and maybe in our families or our loved ones who are engaged, about to get married. Maybe some are on the rocks, on the brink of breaking up. Maybe we can encourage them. Maybe we can help them. We do a disclaimer. We are not marriage therapists, but we're just giving our own life's journey within our marriage, and hopefully that can help. My husband is an ordained elder in the church. I'm a certified mental health advocate, so we kind of working hand in hand with that. So this is what we are doing, and as I state, pretty much every time we come, we are getting things set up so that we can make this into a podcast, on the podcast airwaves, if you will. So that's what we're working toward. But of course, in the meantime, we're still coming here on our platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to be able to share with you. Dear, did you want to say anything to kind of wrap us up today? What you want to do?
Well, all of this is a big topic, and really, one day you can just take one of those from that and just kind of elaborate on it, because a lot of times um, it's deeper, and to give the positive only without giving the other side is not realistic. You got to kind of look at, because that's the way life is. You got
Yeah.
one side, and you got the other side, and like you said, so you want to try to give both sides up and try to really dig into some of these topics.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we have to. And I think we'll be doing what God intended for us to do. Let me read this comment. My little sister, she's so sweet. She says, all of those years ago, you and brother have provided much wisdom to me and Gary. We are appreciative and going strong. We love you both. Honey, we love y'all too. We
Yes,
really
yes.
do. And we thank God for what he's doing in your marriage, in your life, how the healing God has provided for you both, and the great miracle testimony for Gary.
Yes,
We thank
wonderful,
God. We thank
wonderful.
God. But okay, so yeah, we have much more. We can do more of the variables for formula for a successful marriage. What was the other thing I said? I want to do a separate session on. I'll look back at it. I'm gonna find it.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember it? You probably don't remember it. That's okay.
No,
I got you. You got me.
no, what they say.
Oh, was it making your home? How to make your home a safe space? There it is. There it is. I thank you, Holy Ghost. He brought it back to my attention. So how we're going to talk about how to make our homes a safe space. We'll do that, and of course, continue on with the marriage formula, um, to make your marriage successful. So, honey, again, thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, you are welcome.
I'm waiting on my honey so we can end our broadcast. I didn't even have to tell him this time. Can you guys believe that? We just like to do a little something just to end our broadcast and let you guys know that uh, where you at? Where we at? Where we at? Come on, baby. Mwah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's how we like to end our broadcast, giving smooches and kisses. Again, thank you as he's going back to his camera. So, the comment. Sorry for tuning in late. This is a precious topic with excitement that how we felt when falling in love. Hey, Deacon, cousin Deacon, we appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you. Yeah, you can
Yes,
always go
yes.
back and review it from the beginning once we end this live stream. Okay, Tanya said, don't forget the article. Tanya, I did place it in the comments section. Let me see. Are you, because I think you're watching from a different platform. So I'm going to make sure that you have it. I'll get it to you. It's on the screen now, but I will definitely get it to you directly. Okay, I'm going to, maybe I'll hop on over to YouTube and place it. I'm sorry, because you guys are there live as well. So I don't think she saw it because of that. Um, so yeah, we'll get that to you. Ebony says, "Oh, honey, do our little kiss, a little kiss. Thank you."
You're welcome. Thank you.
But okay, we're going to get out of here and we'll see you guys next time. Again, if you have any suggestions, I mean, there's so much to talk about when you talk about checking the temperature of your marriage. But if you have any suggestions or comments, of course, you can throw them into the comments section here, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or you can email us. The email address is at, hang on one second, it is at the bottom of our names here, mtc with aa at gmail, mtc with aa at gmail.com. Okay. And you guys, let me see. Yeah, Tanya, I see that you're on YouTube, so I'm gonna make sure I place that over there on the live stream over there. Okay. So you'll have it.
So it
Here it is
might be
right here.
good to see if anyone want to uh, pick one of those topics directly. So
Oh, you mean for next time?
yes,
Okay. So hang on a second. Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't see all these comments over on I mean, on YouTube. Y'all forgive me. Okay. So my husband said if you wanted to choose one of the, go ahead, babe. Say it again.
now choose one of those topics out of the 10, or choose two topics to try to attention that you think that needs more attention to. We can try to talk about it, and all of us can talk. You know,
Okay.
all of us are smarter than one of us.
Yeah. That's a different way of saying it. Okay. All right. So you guys have homework. Ha ha ha. If you wouldn't mind, I am placing the article over on YouTube and it is here on Facebook. I'll make sure to place it on Instagram as well. So he suggested that if you wanted to go through that article and see which one of those topics that we can discuss when we come on live next time, um, which one of those 10 variables to help us to create a successful formula for a successful marriage, right? That would be excellent, and then we can have that participation from everyone as well. Okay, y'all good? Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. I'm believing y'all good. Ebony says, "I love love." Yes, you do. Ebony and her husband, they just celebrated, I think, 23 years of marriage last Sunday, I believe.
Very
Um,
good.
yeah, so congratulations to you guys. And they're such a gorgeous couple. They really are. They really are. But yeah, I thank God for each of you that are on here, the couples, the singles, and those that will come back and listen to this stream from the beginning. Again, we appreciate you. And make sure you click that link for the article. Make sure you email us if you have any questions or comments or suggested topics. And we will engage with you. And hopefully, we'll see you soon. Right, dear?
Right.
Thank you for my kiss.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, for kissing you back? No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. We love y'all.
Yes, we love you. Be blessed.
Blessings.